Call the meeting to order at 4:30. Have the regular meeting minutes of July 16th. I think we tabled these because Vinny wasn't there, and then you weren't there at the last meeting minutes.
Okay,
Motion to approve this,
for the July 16th.
correct?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I'll abstain. I'll second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Regular meeting minutes, Denise was not here for.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll abstain.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Transfer station assistant position, this was posted, it was posted with the union board. And online, and we had got one applicant.
Yes.
Who fortunately works there. It was there kind of like a fill-in, very part-time-ish position, something changed in his. Schedule where he can fill this, now this is Sam's old position.
Yes,
Sam's old position.
yep.
Because the guy that we currently have there has to leave the position, he's, got some issues going on that. He can't get there for the 20 hours a week anymore.
Oh, okay.
This guy's Jim Santapietro. Really nice guy, seems to fit in well there, and I believe he passed this course already for the, I can't remember the certification they need for that.
Is that one of the gentlemen that works Sunday?
Could be,
Okay.
he probably does, he did a lot of fill-in for, when Sam was out as well. but. Is there a motion to approve Jim?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
This is full-time, 20 hours a week, like a full position,
Well,
not seasonal.
it's a year round.
Okay.
Yep, it's in the contract as a union position as well. Let's see, Sam was doing that for a while, then the next guy came in and Scott, was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Scott.
And then he couldn't do it anymore, so now this guy. is taking it.
And he was the only applicant for the, okay.
Had at least one other person interested, but they never came in with an application or anything, so.
Great.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Sidewalk maintenance. Now, I had a call, I think I gotta fill you in on this. With DOT about the town center project here,
Yes, yes.
and for months and months, we had that, on the board downstairs in the corner of the room, what it would look like if they redid it. They have a concern, they wanna make sure the town is on board with maintaining the sidewalks in some way, because there's gonna be additional sidewalks. We don't have anything, any ordinance on it like other towns do, because we really don't have any sidewalks, public sidewalks that are maintained like that. So I guess we'd have to come up with an ordinance to say that the town, at least for now, would maintain these sidewalks. In the future, I guess you could come up with an ordinance, putting it on the adjoining landowner. But they would have to maintain it. I don't know how well that would go over. Hey, John.
Hello.
Hi. But they would like to know if the town is on board with at least maintaining the sidewalks, agreeing to maintain the sidewalks once it's built. And then the town could decide what they want to do after that, if they want to push it on to the landowner. I think the only adjoining landowner might be, would be Richard Skilton's property. And maybe Steve Cook up here.
Yeah.
Oh, and Richard right here as well, and the rest would be the town. Any thoughts on that? And also, they're looking maybe at a rotary. Instead of the regular intersection of the blinking light. We have a meeting coming up. I'll give you the date. I think it's next Tuesday at 10. With DOT, and like if you can make it, that would be great. I'll get that date pinned down for you. I think it'd be good if you guys can make it. And I'm gonna try to get like Kyle and maybe Rob Ebner, some other people that can weigh in on this proposal. and go from there. So any consensus, do you think we should move forward? Once we get to the point with an ordinance for sidewalk maintenance and the town would be liable for now. I don't know if it has to be an ordinance or we just approve as a board of selectmen.
Well, in most towns, the bigger towns, I mean, the property owner is responsible for the sidewalk.
I'll see what Bethlehem's doing.
I think, well, I can't say for sure. I think they hire somebody else to do the sidewalks,
Yeah, that
the few times I've been by there.
Yeah.
But what happens with our sidewalks? Do we even do our sidewalks at,
the one
center?
through the park, not in the winter.
And not in the winter?
We put up signs at each end.
Okay,
I mean, obviously we do these,
yes, yeah. Yeah.
and over there.
Well, I think we have to move forward.
Yeah, I think the agreement is, yeah, we'll maintain them. Obviously, we have a lot more questions about how much sidewalk will there be, where will they be, and
Yeah.
everything else. So that'll come out more at the meeting. Because they have kind of a concept, and which I'll send to you. They gave me a little slideshow. I'll send that out to both of you. So you
Okay.
can see what it looks like.
Cause that would introduce crosswalks as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how crosswalks are gonna work with a rotary as well. Yes. Indeed. I'll get that information to you.
Because they're not just talking about this intersection, they would be talking about all, or are we just talking about this one?
Right now, I'm just talking about this
Okay.
one. They did look at that intersection down there. I wasn't able to make it, I was away. And I'm gonna be talking with the person kind of led that discussion and see what they came up with down there.
Okay,
Cause it would be nice to have some connectivity in that Four Corners area with those businesses and safety as well. It's
yeah,
side crosswalks. Sale of town property, now that we have the UTV down at, the transfer station, we no longer need the golf cart. And, Dave says, it does have some rust on it and everything in the frame. But they like to sell it, if that's okay with everyone, we can post it and accept some bids.
mhm.
So is there a motion to approve this, putting the golf cart up for sale?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I did put, the sink and the stove on Facebook Marketplace. I got one inquiry about the sink and nothing else. I'm gonna have to try to find some other place to post it, I guess. It is kind of to go to a Vulcan stove, for the right person, the right place. Use restriction agreement. This is something so they can move forward with the affordable housing down at East Street. You remember the gist of this, Laurel?
So Attorney Wrightback said we need to approve it for, the agreement and Schedule A, so you can, to authorize you to sign it and record it in the Morris Land Records in the town clerk's office.
It's apparently so, it can only be used for the intended purpose. Oh, yeah, that's the land records restriction. Restricts the property for its intended use. They are getting fairly close with their checklists to get this property moving forward. There's been a flurry of emails and literally a checklist of what was required to get the Department of Housing to get the final approval. They have dug 2 wells there, I believe. I have not heard about water quantity or quality. We did work through the issue with the emergency access off of the Eldridge Housing parking lot. And we came to an agreement there. So it will be only for emergency use. Coming off the Eldridge.
Okay,
The residents of Eldridge are quite concerned about traffic going through their parking lot into this new complex.
mhm.
So the main traffic will just come off of Eldridge Drive. I guess we need a motion to for me to sign this agreement.
This is what Attorney Ryback recommended us signing,
Yes.
this agreement.
Yeah.
So that we are stating that we will not use it for anything other than what it's intended as the town.
Correct.
Okay, I'll make a motion on that.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Oh, going back to that traffic though, wasn't that the original plan? That. When the driver would come into Eldridge and only emergency vehicles would be using the back.
Yeah, that was the plan that we had with us when we were doing the field visit down there, with the state and housing and all that. But there was some discussion from someone at the Department of Housing that perhaps you could use both entrances.
Oh, okay.
And that was a concern, obviously with Eldridge, they were pretty adamant, they didn't want all that traffic,
All that
any traffic
traffic.
coming through it.
Right.
It could be FedEx, it could be UPS, it
Right.
could be, you name it, coming through. So I checked with, Kyle, as our town foreman, I checked with, Rob Ebner, chief fire company, and also, John Podlinski from Litchfield Ambulance, if they had any concerns about the access off of Eldridge Drive, and they did not, it's a little steep. But they didn't have any real concerns, and they said, especially if they could use the emergency access off of Eldridge, and that's what it'll be there for, so. All those in favor?
Aye.
Tax collector Rebecca needs, tax serve agreement extension approved. And I guess I need the authority to sign it on behalf of the town of Morris.
All right, I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Refunds, abatements, so the total 714.48. I believe. White Memorial and Luke Cottonmouth. Their motion to approve.
I'll make a motion on that.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No appointments. Correspondence, I've been reaching out to, Region 20 about access to James Morris School Gymnasium. Really haven't gotten anywhere. Apparently they are, custodian will meet, Cindy LaPlaca when she needs to get in for the aerobics class that she's doing. But we have not received any fobs back from the school. I have a bit of concern here, for safety, say we have emergency in town. Whether it's another tornado or snowstorm or, you name it. We'll need access to that building. We don't have it right now. James Moore School utilizes the town hall here with key fobs. For emergency access in case something happens over at the school. I just reprogrammed those for them, they're all set. We don't have the same ability here at the town hall, if we need to seek a place of refuge in an emergency. We don't have access to the school. That, and with winter coming, you're gonna see a lot more recreational activities over there. And those can happen weeknights, weekend mornings, Saturday and Sunday. And are they gonna provide a custodian to meet us every one of those, events? But, I go back to the issue of in case of emergency, what's gonna happen? We're locked out. And the fob that's normally in the Knox box for the fire company is not there now, so. They don't have that fob either. So it's pretty concerning and it's going nowhere. I went to pick up the fobs for the town hall over there so I could reprogram. And those fobs that we're supposed to have for the school were still sitting on the desk there. So I don't know what's happening, and I'm really not getting much response from the superintendent.
So it's the superintendent roadblocking that.
They're reviewing their security policies and procedures and things like that, but I think they should have thought of that ahead of time before.
They should have thought of a lot of things ahead of time, which they haven't.
Right. And it's, it's frustrating because
Well,
it's not right.
the thing, what's gonna happen is they're gonna provide you a custodian. Somebody's gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And probably the town of Morris.
Well, they can't charge us directly, because in the new plan, it says we shall have access and at no charge,
Okay.
but we don't have access.
Right.
Are we the only town that doesn't have access to their,
No,
none of us
none of
do?
us. Unless the custodian's present, I guess, right now. Yeah, to let them in. So, I mean, we do so much work over there. We plow off it used to be the tennis courts on the side of the school. We plow that off in the winter time so the kids have a place to play. We haul material in for them, for the PTO, for the school. We've mowed their lawns, replanted trees, redid their drainage, trimmed trees, removed poles. I mean, you name it. We've done so much work over there. Cause, we work together.
Right.
Mhm.
And that working together is not there anymore, so. I hope the school board will, come to. Realize, they need to do something about that. But that and amongst all the rest of the things, it's kind of disappointing there.
It's a long list.
Yeah, I can kind of compile a list for the school board, I'm not sure, and for the public, because I don't think they're aware of, they're aware of, we're gonna go up the bond or, seek a loan. They're not aware of all the other issues that are not being talked about in the public, like the Region 6 pension, which I just got something today, it looks like it's only funded at like 33%, not at 41.98 that I thought it was. So it's way underfunded. And so here's another cost for the towns. That Warren, Morse and Goshen are gonna have to deal with. There was something else. Oh, there was some costs incurred prior to July 1st for this whole regionalization, which appears that it was paid by the Litchfield school system, but benefited the entire region, Warren, Morris, Goshen, Litchfield. Not quite sure how much those costs are. I've heard between $300,000 and $900,000. And if they've been paid out of the Litchfield school system, then it sounds like that school system has to get reimbursed for our shares,
Yeah.
or Morris and Goshen shares. So there's a lot of costs, and they're not talking about it. And I think people need to know about this stuff before the referendum, because, you start adding the increased budget for next year, and the payment for the loan or bond, the pension, and then paying back Litchfield school system. It's adding up.
Is that enough?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I don't think the taxpayers realize that they're gonna end up putting the bill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's, whether we like it or not, it's,
Right,
I mean, I can't imagine the overages within the current Region 20 budget right now. Yeah, in legal alone, it has to be incredible. Yeah, and we don't see those.
Have we heard about, I've been traveling the last couple of weeks, but have we heard about town tours yet?
Haven't had any dates. I think they're still trying to pin down I don't know if John knows.
I have not heard yet,
As far as the date of the referendum,
that I haven't heard either.
because they were looking at October 15th, but due to early voting, you can't do that. Early voting starts October 21st. Machines have to be locked down for 12 days after a vote. So I kind of think they're looking late November now. So they'd still have time to do their town tours and,
Yeah, I heard November, but
yeah,
I don't have anything in concrete.
so. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to cut and what they decide to cut, a week from this Thursday at their, meeting. So. It's not great news.
No.
I just hope the kids are doing okay once they get to school.
Yeah,
And I hope that's going well, but
I'm sure. Everything is going well as far as classroom and all that stuff. It's just, we have a system here where churches keep spending money with nobody watching what they're spending. And at the end result is the taxpayers are gonna pay for this. And this is not something that the taxpayers agreed to when they voted to merge this school district.
Yeah.
They were given false information.
right. It's confusing how it has been so well managed up until this point as to like what happened.
Yeah, what,
Yeah.
just start, I mean, when Channel 3 News picks up a story on Region 20, it's
Mhm.
getting out there
Mhm.
besides just in our little towns here.
Oh, yeah,
state level.
Other towns are looking at this and seeing what's going on.
yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the spending, and I think did I give you a copy of that capital list?
I did.
Yeah, I don't know if you've gotten yours,
No.
but
Got it.
it's interesting that, they developed the capital list. For $1,046,000. And then they have the additional needs at the bottom. And one's a boiler for Warren School.
Right.
Well, when you're developing a capital list initially, and you have a problem with this boiler at Warren School, it's been going on for quite a while. Wouldn't you think that would be in the upper list instead of cross-country tents?
Right.
And mascot uniforms? Boiler for the school. The priorities, I think, were skewed. I don't know how they came up with that list.
I would assume that the excitement behind branding and painting and mascots, those conversations had to have happened almost a year ago to where,
That's one. Yeah.
they then get to a point where they're committed or they're committing to do that for the school. But it's coming at a time that other things should be taking priority. So it's an unfortunate, I don't feel that it was like, ooh, and let's throw in mascot uniforms. I do feel that that's a conversation because those things alone, they take months to make, months to make.
They came up with this capital list, the upper part, in May of this year. They knew full well they had a boiler that had an issue at Warren School at that time. How do you bump that down the list that far?
Yeah,
I get some
unless it was
branding.
already, right,
I get the gym floors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they should have prioritized things a little bit better, I
I
think.
would have liked to have seen the capital list 3 months earlier then to see what it looked like, so.
Right.
If those were still on there, then it makes sense, but
Well, I guess next board meeting is gonna be interesting. So see what happens.
next
And
week,
that's Thursday.
A week from this Thursday.
Oh,
Litchfield Center School. Where do they meet there?
really,
I never- Oh, and they have a gym there in the back?
But they may have to go to a bigger venue because I think there's gonna be a turnout that night.
Could be.
Yeah, like the small kind of stage gym.
Yeah, the gym in Center School, yeah,
Okay,
I don't think I've ever been in
yeah,
there.
I don't think that holds a lot of,
put maybe 100 people in.
Yeah.
Maybe.
because they're folding chairs too.
Yeah. Anything else? Oh, did want to say the construction project on Lane White Road, I think it just turned out beautiful. They did a great job. And I agree with some of the people online, I'm gonna miss the whole bump, you know, as a kid, I used to hit my head on the roof of the bus, it was great. You know, and as a teenager, I did some stuff I probably shouldn't have done. Driving there, but I think it's gonna help clear up a lot of liability issues and they did a great job. And they worked with the local contractors and got it done.
Yeah, it looks real nice. I went down there last week. Looks really nice.
Yeah. I think Kyle's gonna come back with a kind of prioritized list of the striping.
Okay,
Elaine White will be one, I'm sure. I think West Morris Road's gonna be another one, Eldridge Drive will be another one, but he'll come back with a prioritized list. on that.
okay.
And it's 4:56, is there a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, I'll make that one.
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
Thank you.